Welcome to Nightlife 24/7.
Are you ready to talk about sex?
No, let's talk about relationships.
Or is it time to talk about dating, taboos?
It's on your mind.
So let's talk about it
on Nightlife 24/7.
Welcome everybody to Nightlife 24/7, and as always, I'm your boy Mac, and today, my little sis has finally come back home. So what's up, sweets? How we doing, girl?
Jonesing a little better than usual. The last couple of days were a surprise with the weather. I think the universe hates me.
I think it's trying to tell you it's time to come back home to Georgia.
Winter and spring are here at the same time.
Yeah, you might want to let that go and just pack up and get to close to some warm weather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So check this out. I have never really understand until recently how you can put someone in a friend zone. There's a female that actually likes me, but we spend so much time together doing cool stuff. In my eyes, I see her as a friend. And I know she wants to have sex. She's made it very clear. She's very, very blunt and forward about it. But I just can't get past seeing her in the friend zone. And don't get me wrong, she is not ugly. Not ugly at all. Nice, thick chick. I mean, thick, light skin, has her own nanny business, does really well. I mean, she is off the chain. But it's weird. I like her, but I started liking her more as a friend. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for that?
No.
So, have you had those situations?
Yeah, but I put people in the friend zone all the time. So, I'm very particular about my business. So if I'm not in a relationship or if we're not having sex, that means that I can trust you more because you're not going to break up a friendship. I'm a good person. So if we end the friendship, it's your fault. If you're in a relationship, now you have people that have access to your personal life. You know what I mean? You're not in a relationship anymore. So I would rather put people in a friend zone instead of trying a relationship with everybody. You might be a better friend than you are a boyfriend.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, and I've noticed this a lot, that women have no problem putting a man as a friend. They are so quick to do it, but if a man turns around and puts a woman in the friend zone, she has an issue with it. She's upset. I'm not good enough. I'm not, what's wrong with me?
There is a double standard. There's definitely a double standard. I mean, I've never been put in the friend zone that I didn't want to be in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because just because you associate with an individual doesn't mean that there's a sexual tension there. No,
that's true. That's true.
That was always my thing because I'm a friendly person. I can work a room. I'm hosting. I'm doing all these things. So I speak to a lot of people. And people automatically assume that I'm trying to get with them. Or you exchange numbers after a great conversation and then they're like, yeah, so can I take you out? No. I'm not, I'm trying to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you, but you gotta understand, as a man, we don't, how can I put it this way? We're more visual, so the appearance and the openness and the engagement that you're giving us can sometimes be misread or misunderstood.
Exactly.
But as men, we're still hunters. So if you are open and engaging and friendly, that is an in for us because, oh wow, she made this a lot more simpler and easier than I thought it would to get to know her and spend time. Why don't I move to the next level and see if she'll let me get to know her on a personal level?
Nah.
I'm just talking from a man's point of view.
No, I mean, I get it, but that's not how it works. Sometimes you're purposely put in a friend zone. Just like an individual that's been my friend for years. His wife asked, well, if you guys are so close, why didn't you guys ever get together?
I've heard that so many times. Oh my God.
It's like we kind of friend zoned each other because I was an athlete, he was an athlete. We did like each other, but we didn't have time to really be in a relationship. We were in college, you know?
Right.
So it was more like we kind of settled with not talking about the personal stuff anymore.
Okay.
Just hanging out, just the cool, you know, see you when I see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the bad thing about that is, let's just say, hypothetically, me and you were hanging out in college, and we were cool as friends, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie to you. You tend to find that one or the other of those friends start to develop feelings for each other because of the way you hang out and the consistency and the fact that they know they can trust you and the fact that they can open up to you. Being able to do those things with a certain person makes you feel safe and secure, and you want to have that type of feeling all the time.
Well, not necessarily, because I have some friends that get on my last goddamn nerve.
Well, ain't no lie about that.
And they're very attractive, career-driven, financially stable, they qualify. But you still get on my goddamn nerves. So I can only handle a little bit of you at a time because you cool as fuck. You just, you know what I mean? A little off.
You sound like my damn family. Okay.
No, but it's just like everybody doesn't develop those feelings because you can be consistently with a friend of yours that's an asshole.
Okay. What you remember?
I'm usually that friend.
What was that movie with the 5 black guys and one of them was getting married and he wrote the book about his friends and them?
That was, I don't remember.
Yeah, but remember they were friends, but they all kind of connected and slept with each other, but no one knew that they were sleeping with the other one. You know what I mean?
Right. I know what you mean.
It wasn't the wood. It wasn't the wood. It was something else.
No, but it was all the same people that was in the wood. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, it wasn't the wood. Yeah, but damn good movie based on what we speaking here being put in the friend zone. Now, answer me this. And I need honesty from you. I need straight up honesty.
What do you got?
Okay. Y'all women know when you meet a guy within the first 5 minutes if y'all putting him in the friend zone, don't you?
No. No.
You really don't?
I think that's correct. Because there are things, like you say, men are hunters. Women, we're on a mission as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just a different type of mission. So if it's based on a visual, then you approach. Cuter guys get more options. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he sounds stupid, but he fine as fuck. You know?
Yeah, brothers like me got to work at it. Y'all got to come and realize, damn, he got his shit together. He works. He ain't got no baby mama drama. He pays his bills on time. You know?
OMG.
Yeah.
You can have a tone of conversation and think to yourself, okay, you know, I might give him a try. But then you can have a totally different approach, like the guy I met the other day. He comes up to me, he offers me a drink. And I'm watching him walk over to me, and I'm like, So, but his tone of conversation was interesting. Then I kind of, turned my head to the side, looked at him a little different, looked at his shoes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not always, you don't always know in the first 5 minutes. Because it can go either way by the end of that conversation. So you got to keep that that
keep the
expectation
door
open.
open. There may be a
Right.
possibility of the door opening. Okay.
Right. Because you don't
Okay.
want to speak on something and say, oh, no, I'm really not looking to go out, just looking, maybe for friends. And then you turn away a good person that's a personality that could be really compatible with you later on.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as guys, the friend zone thing with us is more so pushed upon us most of the time. But that girl that you grew up with next door to you, that y'all were best friends in daycare and kindergarten and stuff, and who's your best friend, and she's slight tomboy. Yeah, we have those kind of friends, but I'm not gonna lie to you. We still want to kick it with her at some point once she starts developing and we start coming into our smelling ourselves and getting our little manhood. Now, there's a rarity. There is a rarity of that girl who hangs out with the guys and we only see her as one of the guys. That's far and few beyond, but it does happen, and when you run across that type of chick, oh my God, she is a hellified wingman. I'm telling you, and that friend zone is just taking on a whole nother level, and that's something we kind of look for sometimes when someone who's in our friend zone, but it's hard to run across that kind of female because the average female is like, yeah, we friends and stuff, but they ain't really trying to come off like you're one of your boys. And it's not trying to say, I can't think of a better way of putting it, but you want her to like have your back, and if you do have a girl, she gonna lie for you, or if you do have a girl, she covering for you, if you out there doing your stuff. And if you do have a girl, or you don't have a girl, and she trying to help you hook you up with other girls when y'all hang out. So those are rare commodities for us in the friend zone.
That's me. For all of our listeners, we are talking about the friend zone. What do you think about it? Has it happened to you? How do you feel? Are you the friend zoner, or have you been friend zoned?
God knows I have.
That's the question. Now, a similar situation happened. I'm from upstate New York, grew up there, and I was the girl in the clique of guys. I was the tomboy. I was always pretty and, that thing. But now, in my mid-30s, I go home and I hang out with one of my friends.
Right.
We see each other, probably once every 3 years, but we're really cool.
Gotcha.
And he says, I'm really attracted to you. I would really like to give this a shot, blah, blah, blah. He knows my whole family. I know his. I mean, from 10 years old. So we tried, and I had to kind of readjust because I said, wow, he's a really good guy, in the personal department. Things that you don't see when you're just being a friend.
Right.
With the door openings and the closings and the how was your days and cooking meals and, things of that nature.
Right.
So we hooked up for about 2 or 3 months, and then he tells me that, I find out he has a baby on the way.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is my friend. I've been knowing this guy for 20 years.
Wow.
But the reason I'm glad was in the friend zone is this. He says to me, after I find out, he says, well, first, I wanted to make sure that they were mine. He said, second, I didn't want to risk losing you with whatever little time that you have because I know you're always on the road. He said, I really wanted to try.
Okay. He's coming at you legit. I like that, though.
So I had to respect it. So even though we decided, okay, this personal thing isn't going to work because you're a great friend, but you're a bad boyfriend. Because if you were my man, that's the information I expected to know whether or not.
Right.
Yeah, before people get emotional. So it's like I respected his answer. Now it's almost like it went right back to normal. Nothing awkward. We still have the same circle of friends. I mean, he's best friends with my cousin. I mean, no hard feelings. So the fact that he's been in the friend zone for so long, it helped because if he was just a regular guy, I would feel some type of way.
Right. You basically would have ditched his ass a long time ago.
Exactly. So because you learn people's mannerisms and you know they're not gaming you, you know they care about you, they just did it the wrong way. So sometimes the friend zone is actually healthy.
I feel that. I mean, I have a best friend. We've been best friends since the 8th grade. I don't care how long I go home. I don't care if I go home for 1 day, for 3 days, 4 days. My best friend gets to see me for a full 24 hours and we hang out. And now that she's married, and I respect her marriage and I like her husband, he's a good guy and everything, there has always been sexual tension between us because we tried being together and we realized, like you and your friend, it wasn't going to work, but the sex between us is fantastic. I mean, it is. And we do our best. We always do our best not to be alone together, no matter what. When she comes to visit me and hang out with me, she brings her daughter who I've watched grow up and who's now a grown woman, or, you know, she'll come and if we're hanging out in the room, you know, we sit on opposite sides of the room. We just do because even though she's married and she loves her man and I respect her man, we have such sexual tension between us. It's really unreal and it's funny and we know it, but we don't know what to do about it except to avoid each other. And
That
it's I don't know what else to do. I don't want to mess up her marriage. I don't want to disrespect her husband. She doesn't want to mess up her marriage, but we just have a sexual tension between us. And then what's messed up, we'll always say something to each other after we've left or I've gone. She's like, I wish you had a condom. I was like, yeah, I did, but I didn't. You know, plus she's like, yeah, because if you had just pulled out the condom, it was on. Or if you had just done, and I was like, yeah, I like the way you know, such and such. If you did this, I'd already told myself I was gonna jump on. So we put limits to where we're at, but if that
that's
person,
so cute. That's cute. It's like you guys are still crushing.
yeah, it's weird. It's so weird, but I love her. I love her to death. There are times when I haven't talked to her 3-4 months at a time or 5 months, and I'll text her and say, hey, I'll be home next weekend, or I'll be home in 2 weeks hanging out with my family for the weekend. And she'll be like, okay, call me as soon as you get in, or text me. And it's still the same. And it's been that way ever since we were in high school. Still to the day.
Now, to add to what you're saying, she gets her best friend. She gets her husband. That sounds like a great deal to me, you know, because you guys satisfy each other with the crush, you know, that energy. So it's like you don't need to have that.
Oh, God, but I want to.
You know, does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I understand exactly what you're saying because we're fulfilling another area that could leave a void that she may
Right.
be missing. But oh my God, I'm gonna lie
You
to
get
you.
just enough at a time. You know, it's spread out. It's not too much. You know what I mean? It's not disrespecting anyone. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And
So-
and the bad thing is she's taller than you are. Okay. She's about 2 to 3 inches maybe taller than you. Maybe 3 or 4. I'll be honest, 3 or 4. But she's thick like you,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a white girl. Built just like you. I'm like, oh my God.
So, just to give you a woman's perspective of that same situation, me and my best friend, friends since high school. He had a child while we were in high school, so you know I kind of helped him out here and there.
Right.
At the time, I had custody of my niece. So here it is. We're 2 teens with children, you know.
Right.
So he relied on me a lot. He was a single dad. I relied on him as well. Hey, pick the kids up from daycare, stuff like that. I got track practice and. So, boom, that created a great friendship. Second with that was we went to the same school.
Right.
And we both went to the same community college.
Wow.
I need help with my homework. He would help me with my homework. Or I would help him with his. Vice versa. Really great, strong friendship. Now, years later, about 10 years ago, we hooked up. It was okay, nothing bad happened, put it that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like we argued and stopped having sex.
Okay.
So now that he's married, the wife hates me. She hates my fucking guts.
What'd you do to the wife, seriously?
I mean, she hates me because that same we had that. We haven't crossed the line again, ever. And it's been years.
Right.
But I still get the massages. I still get, my late night company if I'm not feeling well. I groceries if I'm busy.
That's why she hates your ass.
But that's what friends do. That's what friends are for. Because if it was a woman, it would be the same thing.
Well, you know what? I agree with
okay.
you. I agree with you to an extent.
Wait.
I agree with you.
So hold on. I just thought of something.
Okay.
Remember when you had your surgery?
Yes.
As a friend, did I not offer to give you a massage?
Yes. You saw me completely butt-ass naked when I popped my stitches.
Exactly.
You did. You were right there.
What is the problem with that? So whether you have a wife or not, that doesn't give her the right to hate me. It just means I'm a good person and I'm a real friend to my friends.
But you know what? That's not on you. In my personal opinion, that's on the other person for their insecurity. Because they've never had that, so they don't know what to deal with that. Because as far as they're seeing it, here's a woman who's taking from
that
what I can have.
Husband.
Right, wants my husband, or she's taking from what I can have. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick right after I say this. Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is Nightlife 24/7. I'm your boy Mac, and I'm with my girl Sweets. Today we are talking about the friend zone. Now, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And the biggest thing I've noticed here when I moved to Atlanta is they have a huge thing about guy and girls cannot be friends without having sex. You can't be good friends without having sex. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
That's because they don't know what friends are.
But that's huge here in Atlanta. How is it I can't have a female friend and we not fucking? We just friends. We hang out. We go to movies. We went to, I have a good friend. She's in the medical field. She's a surgeon. Makes great money. She's a single woman. She travels around the world. Every month she's in a different country just enjoying herself. For 5 to 6 years, this woman would come over, hang out with me. We would lay up in bed together and watch movies, and there was no sex.
Yep, that's me and my friend.
No sex,
And
but
I
we
let
were
him
just
walk.
cool.
I would give this dude a kidney, okay?
Yeah.
If my kidneys are any good. But I would give him a kidney, that's it. And the thing is, I don't want to have sex with him.
Right.
Because I enjoy, I guess I can say our intimacy is not sexual, but it's intimate. It's certain conversations you can have with that one person that you can't have with other people.
And I agree with you there, because the friend I just spoke of, we eventually ended up having sex, and it ruined our friendship. Now, we're trying to reestablish. We are trying to reestablish that friendship, but I've realized it will never be the same. It cannot be the same.
Right. Because sometimes it's not worth it. That's what I was saying previously.
Right.
I mean, that friendship really helps after effect. Because just imagine if you just met her and you guys tried to have a relationship, once it's over, it's over. That person is going to walk out of your life forever.
we would have been done. I deleted a number, nothing. But
Exactly.
but
But because you guys are friends
right,
first, you know she's a good person. It's just a relationship is just not going to work.
right, right. I mean, she's had not good relationships or bad situations in relationship, and she started hating men and disliking men, and a lot of that came out with me, and it just blew us apart. But she's a wonderful woman. She's a beautiful woman. I mean,
She's a great friend.
she's a great friend. That woman would do anything for me, and I love that about her. And I would take a bullet for her without hesitation. I wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't even think about it. But she doesn't know that about me anymore because we've argued after a certain situation, a sexual situation, and we just stopped talking. We just stopped talking to each other. And then just weirdly out of the blue, I don't remember who reached out. Was it me or her? And we just said hello and how you doing or where you're at, and we just started talking again. But we know that the friendship was messed up, and we acknowledged that. We talked about it,
Right.
you know, and but we're still trying to reestablish it. And when she comes to town, every couple of months for a weekend, I get a half a day to myself. Before the friendship was messed up, I would get a whole day. We would go out to dinner together and try new restaurants that just opened up because she's a foodie like me. But now she comes over after she done hung out with her girls all weekend. She'll come over that night, lay up in bed, and smoke a little bit and chill. And then the next day she's gone, to do something else, or she's leaving that next day, depending on what day we get together. But
Right.
I still
So
love her.
it lowers your value.
Right.
It
Yeah.
lowers your value. Like you were a better friend before.
Right, and I've told her that I miss her friendship. I miss it, and that's the reason why we started talking again, because I truly missed being able to talk to my friend and tell them the things that were going on. Me and you, we had became really good friends. I hated when you left. I did. I didn't like it. I couldn't say nothing about it. I wasn't cool with it, but that's your life, and I hate when I can't call you sometimes and just talk to you, but because you're
But you
unavailable.
can.
But you know what? I can't, because there are times when you're working. There are times when you're in an area where you're not getting reception. There's times when I've texted and you like, hey, such and such happened. The phone was dead for a while because of a snowstorm, or there was a bad situation up here. And I get that it's your life, but still, as a friend, I'm like, damn, I really wanted to express to her this happened and this is how I felt about it, or this is happening and I'm happy about it. Well, damn, I really met this person. I want it and I can't. But that's life, and I understand that.
Okay. So now that that's on the table, I will do better.
You have a
Because
life, and I understand that.
Unlike your other friends, I know your value and you're worth it.
I
You're
appreciate
awesome.
that.
You are welcome. See how that works? See this happen? The show is not just good for other people; it's good for us as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I miss my friend. I do. I miss you coming over and eating and hanging out and talking. I do. But we have to live our life. We all got things we have to do to survive, and I appreciate and understand that. I do.
Now, this is a good time for people to call in and give us their opinion.
This would actually be a great time. Honestly.
Perfect.
Honestly. So, hey guys, if you're just tuning in, this is Nightlife 24/7. You're kicking it right now with Mac and Sweets, and we're talking about the friend zone. I mean, how many times have you approached a female, liked her, or didn't say something when you thought you should, and by the time you did, you found out you were already in the friend zone? How many times as a woman, you was like, damn, you know what? He's dating her, but when they break up, I want to step to him. But because he's gotten to know you a certain way and seen certain habits, whether they're good or bad, you've been put in that friend zone. How do you get out of the friend zone? Is it worth losing the friendship to be committed and into a committed relationship with that person? I mean, that's something to think about. How many of you have said, you know what? I would rather be his woman or her man and than the friend. And come to realize you were a better friend than you were a mate. You know.
Now, I have a friend that's going through that exact situation. He's a barber. He's a good guy, nice looking, great dad. He tells me about this girl that he meets, how she's everything. She's educated, she's beautiful, she's funny, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm going to shoot my shot. I was like, all right, cool. They go out, hang out. A couple of months go by, and I'm like, hey, what happened to the girl, that you were telling me about? Oh, yeah, chilling and blah, blah, blah. I was like, babe, she put you in a friend zone, huh? Yeah, man. He was like, but she met another nigga, and she talking to another nigga.
Wow.
So I told him, I said, when you're in the friend zone, she's not disrespecting you because she only sees you as just a friend. So why should she have to hide that she's talking to someone? You're her friend.
Right.
So now, it's been like 9 months. And he calls me, he says, yo, I feel bad because I want to ignore all her calls. Why did you call me if you don't want to fuck? I mean, he's to that point. Before he was nice, and he was helping with the bills. She needed a couple of favors here and there. So I told him, I said, you're going to have to do one of two things.
Right.
Explain to her how you feel. She knows you like her. She's keeping you in the wing for a reason. She might be a bad girlfriend, and she doesn't want to ruin the friendship. I know I'm a bad girlfriend. I'm a horrible girlfriend. I had to learn how to be a good girlfriend,
That's so funny
sometimes
you
I
said
put you in
that.
a friend zone to protect you.
Right.
Second, or third, I told him, I said, or just walk away altogether. I said, but then that makes you a bad friend
Which is true.
to her.
Because
So
it
we
was only about getting some punani and then you out.
Right. And he said, yeah, he just wanted to fuck, but he found out she was actually a good, decent individual, cool to
Right.
hang out with. But he still wanted to fuck.
No,
So
I feel that.
he talked to her about it. She played him down. Well, we could kick it, but I mean, it's just the timing don't be right. She hit him with some bullshit. So I told him, like, all right. She knows. She's acknowledged it. And a week later, she called and asked him for a favor. So now,
You know what?
so now he feels used. He feels used.
Right.
He's like, I shouldn't feel bad about wanting to fuck because she's just using me for friendship. He said, that ain't what I signed up for. He said, that's not why I buy food when we go out. He said, my homie pays for his own food, so if you want to be a friend, why am I buying your food?
Which is true. He's got a good damn point, and it's a legit point.
Yep.
I think
So
he needs to
it's like-
clarify. I think he needs to clarify boundaries with her on the friendship.
Well, I told him that as well. But like I said, a week later, she called back and asked for money.
Oh no. She abused it.
She
He's
needed
right.
a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needed a book or something like that after this conversation was had. So I told him, I said, well, what are you going to do now? And he said he's just going to stop taking her calls.
That might be the best way to go about that. And that truly might be the best way to move forward.
That might be the only way
Right.
out of the friend zone is to walk away. So,
Yeah, to truly just walk away from the whole situation. And and sometimes people, you need to realize, sometimes you need to truly realize that all friendships are not good friendships. Some
Right.
friendships only are one-sided. And you need to come to terms with that. You may have a good time, they may make you laugh and all this and make you feel good, but they also can be truly one-sided
sucking your good
relationships.
energy.
Yeah, and they just sucking your energy up. I mean, some friendships are very obvious in that aspect. They really are. They're very
But
obvious. But then
it
there's
is
one.
obvious.
Hmm?
It is obvious when you're not jaded.
Right.
Because when your intention was to fuck and you get put in the friend zone, I can see a lot of things overlooked because you still have a goal. You're on a mission. You're hunting still.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have your prey. So meanwhile, your prey is doing some shit. You're feeding into it because it's getting you closer to
Right.
home plate.
Right.
So you're allowing this person not to be a good friend. So they're not taking advantage of a one-sided friendship. They're showing you exactly who you are, who they are.
Right.
But you're blindsided because you have a goal in mind. And then by the time you don't reach your goal, you realize how much of a friend you've been to this person that hasn't been a friend to you.
Yeah. Well, I think, well, you know what? I'm not going to say I think. I know for a fact there are many of you out there in that type of relationship. You became friends with her with an alternative motive. You became friends with him with an alternative motive. And your goal is to either get something out of them financially, physically, or, supportively that works to your advantage. All I'm going to say is this. If you are that person and you are doing that to another person, at some point, that person is going to come to see who you truly are. And what is going to happen is you may end up losing someone who will always be there for you, someone who will always stand up for you, someone who will always be supportive of you because you had a deceptive, alternative, non-friendship motive right from the get-go. Okay? So the best thing I can say to you is, one, stop what you're doing. Two, be upfront and honest with your friend and talk to them and say, hey, I'm feeling some kind of way. This is such and such. Maybe we need to take a break, or can we talk through this and figure it out, or set boundaries or whatever. But I think every friendship has boundaries to it. I think every friendship has a certain level of respect to it. I think every friendship has a certain amount of support to it. I appreciate my friends that are very blunt and upfront with me. I do. I don't have time for the bullshit. Just tell me straight up. Either I'm going to accept it or I don't. In the same way I'm going to be with my friends. Most of my friends know right up front, I'm going to speak my mind. There are some that I have to dance around, but that's not necessarily true all the time. Okay? But if you are a true friend, your friendship will survive some of the crazy stuff that you go through. Your friendship will survive if y'all try to get together and it falls apart. Your friendship is what's going to keep you strong. I promise you that.
So, what you're saying that my best friend, the one I told you about, with the wife that doesn't like me, both of us were on the same bank account with his grandmother. This is how close we are. I was a teenager. At that time, you needed an adult, to get you a bank account, So that bank account was still open up until recently. Now, a couple of years ago, I was in the hospital.
Right.
And while I was in the hospital, my house got robbed. Someone stole money out of the account. So, of course, he's calling me. He's not getting an answer because I was in the hospital and I was in a coma. So it's not like, I had a chance to call and tell somebody.
Right.
Because he's a friend, so he would have known that. But, so for the duration of me being under, he's worried. He's like, how could $6,000, it was $5,000, $6,000, just come up missing? It was used with her card, with her code, not far from my house, because, someone's going to go through your stuff. They're going to go to the first bank they get to.
Right.
She wouldn't do something like this. What's going on? So the people at the bank, they're saying, you can press charges. This is theft. And he's like, no, I'm not pressing charges because I need to know what happened. Maybe she's in trouble, whatever. So afterwards, when I come to and, start communicating, I had somebody get in contact with him because my phone wasn't with me. So he called. I didn't know about what was going on, of course.
Right.
So he's like, whoa, what's up? I was like, I'm at the hospital. I'm at blah, blah, blah. He came to the hospital every day after that. He never brought up the money situation.
Wow.
When I got home, then he told me, he was like, listen, on such and such a date, there was a withdrawal from the bank. He was like, and they said it was a fraudulent charge. What happened? And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And I know that this dude, if somebody stole money from him, he will come and shoot you, shoot your mama, and kidnap your kids. He's no joke kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I am thankful for our friendship, that our friendship is good enough where somebody can know you without an undisputed fact of your character.
Well, you know, those friendships are so rare.
That's real friendship.
Yeah, that's rare. Hey guys, I know y'all want us to continue, and we will on the next show. We're only down to about 4 minutes now. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Sweets give you her ideal of friendship from a girl's point of view, a woman's point of view, not a girl, but a woman's point of view. And then I'm going to give mine, and then we're going to close out the show, and we'll bring it back to you again on Friend Zone on part 2 of the show, all right? So, Sweets, seeing that you've been through many different types of friendships, what's your ideal friendship that maintains and holds up through time?
Whether male or female, I do think that the biggest weight in the friendship is the loyalty. Everything is built on top of the loyalty, because you don't have to be consistent, because if that's who you are, I respect you for who you are. But I know it's loyalty, decent communication. It doesn't even have to be the best. But you want trust as well from both parties. Because you can't... Friendship is made to vent, to talk, to build, to motivate. You know, you should be able to do all of those things in a friendship. It's a requirement. Because other than that, you're just dead weight.
Good point. My ideal friendship as a male from a female is that female who accepts me for who I am, who's not trying to change me, understands that I'm not perfect and I have many faults, but at the same time, as my friend, with all the things that Sweet said, included loyalty and all that, she is very supportive of me, and when she can see me in my weak moments and still know that I'm still a man, as when I'm in my strong moments. That's what I look for when I consider someone a friend. They accept me for who I am and understand that this is me, and I'm not trying to change them or myself, but we're cool the way we are. All right, guys, don't forget to check.
Exactly.
Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. We really want you guys to check us out on YouTube. We're posting the shows now on YouTube as audio clips. And they're being converted to video clips. We appreciate you on Instagram, and I love the fact that now that we're on Loft Radio TV, you guys are retweeting our shows like crazy. I just saw yesterday our show was retweeted 100 times. Thank you. Facebook, we still can join us and get in on the conversations. I know we don't talk as much as we used to, but there's so much going on with the show. Remember what I said, enjoy yourself and have fun. But remember this, you guys are put on this earth. You're put on this earth to help others, okay? And if you truly can't help others, remember, don't bring any harm to them or yourself. The world is going through a lot right now. Let's do our best to keep making it move forward in a peaceful way. With that being said, we're out. We at Nightlife 24/7 appreciate you, our listener, who has an open mind and heart and are able to listen, learn, and discuss those issues that affect you and your partner. By discussing these issues, we hope to keep the lines of communication open to help inform you, our listeners, and our community. It's on your mind, so let's talk about it on Nightlife 24/7.